I mean, 3 days ago.
I know, right? It just seems like yesterday. We were riding around the streets of LA. You had her loss blasting through. Classic Mark Gunnels, right? Drake blasting through the speakers.
Dude, I really hate you, dude.
What you been on, man? How you been?
I've been good, man. Ready for Thanksgiving tomorrow. I'm gonna spend time with the woman, with their family, with the kid. Have some good eats, good football. Hopefully, have some drinks here and there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't believe it's already Thanksgiving. Honestly, like where did the time go? This year's already almost over with. I really can't believe it.
Yeah, this part of the year always seems to go by fast. I'm like you, man. I tweeted out earlier today. I'm low vibrations only tomorrow as far as my plate is concerned. I want the mac and cheese, the greens, beans, tomatoes, all of them, man. I'm ready. I can't wait. This is my favorite time of the year. Let's do a little LA recap, man, for people who didn't know. Coast to Coast was on the West Coast, the best coast for a little bit for Chiefs Chargers, and it was good to link up, man. You came out to KC, so I made the return trip out to LA, and we had a couple beverages out in Hollywood.
Yeah. A couple beverages here, bar hopping a little bit. You took a off guard picture of me. Wasn't ready for it. You
You really
posted
hurt on that picture still, man?
without my permission. You just posted it. It's crazy how it just
Well,
happens like that.
I cannot believe you
Yeah,
had a silk shirt. You had a cheetah print silk shirt on, my guy.
it's Hollywood. I mean, if you're gonna wear that, where else would you wear it besides Hollywood, California? Like seriously, that's like the one place in this country that you would wear that shirt.
I really couldn't believe what I was seeing, to be honest with you, but it's Mark Gunnels. We had a good time, man. Definitely. It was fun to link up, fun to do it in person. And then
Hey,
that
I
kind of
still haven't
led
got that email, by the way.
I wasn't gonna bring it up, but you brought it to the mic.
Hey, I can laugh at myself. It's okay. But we don't gotta go more in depth about that.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. We'll transition now into our game recap. How about that?
Mahomes avoids, throws. He's a magician.
Chiefs recap.
30-27, the final on Sunday Night Football, an absolute thriller, and I feel like the Chiefs just hit Control V from the last time they played the Chargers in SoFi. No overtime this time, but still a game-winning touchdown from Travis Kelce, who finishes the night with 6 catches, 115 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Really a thriller in SoFi to give Kansas City this pivotal 3-game lead in the division. Really a 4-game lead if you think about it, adding in the tiebreaker there, and if you're rocking with us here on the visuals, you see Travis Kelce doing a little LT, Deion Sanders, something into the end zone. He was unstoppable, Mark, and really, I mean, what more can you say about the duo of Mahomes and Kelce?
Yeah, it seems like Kelsey's getting better as he ages, which is, shouldn't happen at this point in his career, especially in a year when you don't have Tyreek Hill. People were saying, well, now teams can just load up on Travis Kelce, right? Because you don't have that threat on the outside, and he still is producing at a high level. I mean, a historic level. I mean, he's on pace to break a lot of records for himself in a single season. So, I mean, it's definitely something to marvel at. The fact that he always seems to get open is really mind-boggling. Like I just said, teams know he's getting the ball, especially in these situations like right now as you're watching on the game-winning touchdown. But he still always finds the way to get open. I think it just is a testament to the chemistry of him and Mahomes. They just know each other so well. And Travis Kelce used to play quarterback. And I think that's a big factor as well because he can read Patrick Mahomes' mind, and then obviously it goes vice versa. So it's just the uncanny chemistry that you don't see too often in this league.
We talked about going into this game how banged up Kansas City was as far as pass catchers is concerned. And this is from Adam Leviton on Twitter. Hope I pronounced that right. He says Chiefs wide receivers routes run last night with Juju and McCole Harbin out. Kadarius Toney left early, and we're counting all 38 of Mahomes' dropbacks. Justin Watson runs 37 routes, MVS 29 routes, Sky Moore 16, Kadarius Toney 9, and obviously he left early, and then Marcus Kemp got a spare route. Kelce gets all the attention, and obviously he dominated in this one, but I thought it was important for the other guys to step up. There was a big 3rd and 17 catch from Justin Watson that keeps Kansas City involved in that late game action in the fourth quarter. And it took a village offensively for Kansas City to win this game. And I'll eat the egg on my face now because we do our predictions, and we did predictions last week. And I said, hey, it's going to be a close one. I feel like the Chargers might get it. But Kansas City found a way, man. That championship medal, whatever you want to call it, it came through when the lights were the brightest.
Yeah, I regret that I didn't take you upon that bet before the game.
We had a 50 bill on it, and you just let that could have been dinner, man. That could have been dinner.
Yeah, but it's all good. But yeah, man, I mean, the Chargers needed this game a lot more theoretically than the Chiefs, right? You know, a team that's fighting for the playoff lives at this point. They still can get a wild card spot, but the division obviously at this point is wrapped up unless just something unforeseen happens in these last 7 weeks. But I think the Chiefs have a pretty firm grasp on that. And yeah, like you said, these games always seem to come down to these moments. Every time they play the Chargers, it always comes down to the last possession. And it seems to always comes down to a game-winning Travis Kelce touchdown, just like last year in SoFi Stadium in the overtime game when he had that crazy yak at the end and got in the end zone. He just has an incredible knack for the end zone. So, yeah, man, the Chargers, they played a great game. That's the thing about it. You don't want to feel too discouraged if you're a Chargers fan because they played well. You just scored too fast.
Still in the playoff picture, too. They're still in the mix.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we were both at that game. I'm pretty sure we both had the same mindset. When the Chargers scored, there's too much time left. 146, and they had 2 timeouts. That's an eternity for this Chiefs offense. So, yeah, I just think it was just too much time on the clock. And in those situations, I wonder, it's hard to say this to your team because you obviously just want to score, but do you kind of just like run the ball maybe on first down?
Can't play that way. You can't play like that.
Go down a little bit.
You can't play like that.
I know you really can't, but do you really want to leave that much time left for Patrick Mahomes? It's a tough balancing act, in my opinion. But yeah, like you said, you got to score when you can. I understand that, but they had to know that, man, that's a lot of time. And the Chargers still had time as well. I mean, they had 35 seconds, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And really only needed a field goal, and really the sack from Chris Jones when Justin Herbert tried to step up in the pocket. That's what kind of screws you around when the Chargers were trying to make that last drive. But so it's a 1-score game, and Kansas City's really dominated these close games. I believe they got 4 wins in these last little 1-score games. It's a team that's pulled out victories when they need it the most, and Patrick Mahomes a big reason why. This is classic Mark Gunnels stirring the pot on Twitter, saying that the MVP debate is already done. But let's talk about it a little bit more. This is already a former MVP in 2018, and his numbers in 2022 looking kind of the same. 66% completion percentage, leads the league in passing yards, 3,265, 28 passing touchdowns, also leads the league, and only 7 interceptions. Is there a race anymore? Is the MVP race over? Because it's been very popular to say after that thriller in SoFi that Mahomes has already got it wrapped up, and you can just go ahead and hand it to him now as we enter week 12.
Yeah, and, you know, when you say I'm stirring the pot, you're starting to lose your luster in saying that because you say it on everything at this point. Me saying that this race is over is not stirring the pot. I mean, just look at the Vegas odds. He's like minus 150 to win, and next guy is plus 500. I mean, it's not stirring the pot. It's pretty evident that he's the clear front runner at this point, and it'll take something catastrophic to happen for him not to win at this point, considering the schedule. I mean, you're looking at the Rams. The only real game you probably really have is the Bengals. The Seattle, they're pretty good, but, you know, for the most part, you have a pretty light schedule moving forward. So, yeah, I think it's over, bar anything like an injury, knock on wood or something like that. But, yeah, I mean, he leads the league in passing yards. He leads the league in passing touchdowns. His team is the number 1 seed in the AFC right now. I don't see how he doesn't win this award.
We talk all the time and about this award being narrative driven. I know that's always talked about in the NBA when it comes to the MVP award. The narrative around this team and this offense coming to this year was, how is 15 going to do it without Tyreek Hill? There's so many new pieces. And we talked about it on this platform before. MVS, Juju, Clyde Edwards-Helaire needing to take a step forward. You have a 7th round running back coming in. Obviously, Kelce was there and Andy Reid was there, and you got that synergy. But there were question marks surrounding what the Chiefs were going to be able to do entering the season. And through 11 weeks, man, especially with how thrilling they've been able to win some of these games, specific to the LA game. It's narrative driven, and it's hard to say Patrick Mahomes doesn't have all the momentum on his side right now as we enter week 12. And like you said, the schedule kind of lightens up a little bit here down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, and Patrick Mahomes sees everything. We know he sees everything, and all off season he's been hearing all the noise, like you said, about the Tyreek Hill being gone, and people saying his receivers are mid. He doesn't have a true number one. Guys can just load up on Kelsey and double team him, take everybody else out, and that just hasn't been the case. I mean, he's playing his best ball of his young career, in my mind. Just because the fact that he's having to operate and really spread the ball around. He can't just say, F it, Tyreek Hill is down there somewhere, right? He really has to go through his reads and, trust his receivers. And he has a whole new bunch of guys, right? So I think, even going back to the offseason, when he brought those guys down to Texas for 2 weeks just to get a little head start before mini camp, before training camp, I think those things matter. The fact, when guys drop a pass, he's the first one to go back over you and say, I'm going to go right back next to you, right? Go to you again. And just having that trust factor and having somebody that believes in you, somebody of that stature, it just builds up so much confidence in the young guys, especially like a Sky Moore, who had a big game on Sunday.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I just think those little things matter, just not just his skill set, but his leadership off the field as well.
Couple people rocking with us here in the comments. Carl says should be able to slaughter the Lambs, and we'll have an update on their quarterback situation. Just came in, and that'll impact the game going out at Arrowhead. Sean Trell says I was at the game live. Mahomes' magic is real, and Travis Kelce moves like he's got soul from Think Through Tactical. Some moves there for Travis Kelce going into the end zone. And it's been fun to watch, man. I know you wanted to shout out your boy Nick Bolton as we kind of move down a little bit of a quicker episode here right before Thanksgiving. Big day for him, 14 tackles, the forced fumble, which helped get Kansas City the ball back. And then also the game-sealing interception. It's been good to see Nick Bolton kind of take that next step as a leader on this defense, man.
Yeah, I mean, you should be excited as well as a Mizzou alum yourself. So
let him know.
It's a win-win for both of us at this point. But yeah, I think Nick Bolton, man, he's playing at a Pro Bowl level this year. I think he's top 5 in tackles in the league. Like you mentioned, he had 14 tackles. That strip fumble, which is huge on Keenan Allen, and obviously the awareness and just being in the right place at the right time on that last play to seal the game on the interception there. Yeah, I mean, the guy is just incredible. Another gem right there for Brett Veach. And then you got him paired with Willie Gay, who had a nice game as well. That sack on that blitz where he just got shot out of a cannon, right? So I think the Chiefs fans have been looking forward to seeing both of those guys healthy together, because that could be one of the best linebacker duos in the league. Both guys are really young. They're athletic, especially Willie Gay. He's a sideline guy. Nick Bolton has the green dot. He's calling the plays. He's the smarts. He's the guy that's going to know where to go and fill the gaps, and he's a sure tackler. So I think that both of them complement each other very well because they have two different skill sets, but it works together. So something to look forward to for years to come for Chiefs Kingdom.
Sherry Smith says Mahomes better get the MVP, and we know Mark Gunnels agrees with her. Love making y'all part of the show. If you want to chime in, we got a voicemail line for you, 816-514-1267. We'll work those in as we talk Chiefs-Chargers and try to preview Chiefs-Rams. A couple more interesting notes. We got our first look at Chiefs injury updates coming out of that game in LA, and it is kind of a lot, Mark. First, let's start with the running back room. The Chiefs say Clyde Edwards-Helaire has a high ankle sprain, and he's been moved to injured reserve, meaning he'll be out the next 4 weeks at least. That'll impact the running back room. Lucas Niang is the other move. He's activated to the 53-man roster. Some more depth along the offensive line for Kansas City. Joe Thuney and Kadarius Toney don't practice on Wednesday as of our recording. We'll see how that impacts their availability for Sunday. And then Juju Smith-Schuster returns to practice, which is good to see after that scary hit at Arrowhead. And I believe there was a fine that was associated with that. So some good notes there. And what stands out from there? Obviously CEH probably.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of expected that. When you hear a high ankle sprain, that's always a major concern. It's nothing to play with at all. Guys have been dealing with that, and they be out maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks. I mean, it's one of those things that can linger. So I'm
Yeah.
not surprised to see him on the IR. Especially, I think the Chiefs have pretty much told everybody that Isaiah Pacheco was the main guy moving forward. He had a really good game, obviously, on Sunday, over 100 yards rushing. So I think they're going to slow play it with CEH and, just make sure he's ready for the playoffs, just to have that extra depth piece there in the running back room. But I think right now they're fine with McKinnon and Pacheco. Now, I heard that Rojo, he may
I
play
was going to
this.
say, is it Rojo season?
Um, he may play this week only because I think this game may get out of hand. I think it should get out of hand considering what the Rams are dealing with at quarterback right now. So I wouldn't be shocked to see him get some reps in the second half of this game, but I don't think he'll be a main part of the team moving forward, even without CEH in close, tight games. But this week I could see him playing for sure.
Yeah, interesting to see there. And I know a lot of people wanted the Chiefs to put in a waiver claim on Darrell Henderson, who was waived from the Rams. He's a Jaguar as of 7 minutes ago here on Wednesday. They claim him off waivers.
Oh, wow.
I know. So we'll see what Kansas City ends up doing at the running back position. If McKinnon and Pacheco are your guys and Rojo comes in, we're solid with that. And we've talked about that on this platform before. That's why you had Rojo on ice water, waiting to be your insurance guy, waiting to be your Geico or your State Farm. I know you're a State Farm guy. But this is the time. CH has a high ankle sprain, like you said. Don't rush him back. Have him ready. Have him fresh for the playoff run. And Rojo steps in fresh and ready to go. I saw him warming up at the SoFi Field before that one. So he's a guy that's been itching and clamoring for some playing time. And here it is, Mark. This one coming from Nick Schwerdt on Twitter. And I didn't put this on our rundown, but I think this is another reason why Kansas City continues to be so successful this year. It's Chiefs sacks by season. 2020, they had 32 sacks. 2021, 31 sacks. Through 10 games in 2022, Mark, they already have 32 sacks. I believe 5 in the win over the Chargers. You get pressure on the quarterback, man. Good things happen.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, because you saw Justin Herbert at times, he kind of got a little timid in the pocket, because he see the heat coming. He don't know where it's coming from. Like I mentioned before about Willie Gay just kind of shooting out of the cannon right there. So, when you get hit, not even just sacks, when you just get constant pressure on the quarterback and hit them time and time again, they kind of get a little antsy in the pocket. They may release the ball a little quicker than they want to. Like, it's just a lot that goes into it when you can get constant pressure versus having a guy just sitting back there, patting the ball 2 or 3 times, going through his 3rd and 4th read, right? And things are just comfortable. So you got to make things uncomfortable for quarterbacks. And the Chiefs have been doing that, especially as of late.
Is Travis Kelce the greatest tight end of all time?
I actually don't think he is right now. I think he can be eventually.
I wasn't expecting to hear you say that. I thought you were going to come full pom-poms today.
Nah, man. See, you try to do that to me. I'm objective, man. But it's a fair question. It is a fair question, but I don't think right now. I think he's definitely top 3. He'll be my top 3, but I think I'm still going to put Gronk at number 1 at this moment. I think just his touchdown numbers were ridiculous. He was really good in yak. And then also, you're talking about all-around tight ends. He was one of the best blocking tight ends as well. So you got to consider that. I know it's just all about people want to talk about the catches and stuff like that, but blocking matters too. And I'm not saying Kelce is not a good blocker, but Gronk was arguably the best blocking tight end. He was essentially another offensive lineman out there for the Patriots through all them years. So I think he's number 1 right now. But I think Kelce, if he does this for another, at this level, I say if he plays another 3 years at this level after this one, then we have a different conversation.
Yeah, this came from Patrick Mahomes after the big win at SoFi, 30-27. He says, we just kind of went through what we do every single day in practice, everything like that, and we executed. Travis is Travis. He's the greatest tight end of all time. He makes plays like that win games. I thought a lot of young guys stepped up, and some guys that don't necessarily have major roles stepped up on that drive, and it was good to see. He's making a case for it, man. And I think when you're talking about him and Gronk specifically, it hurts that they didn't close out that Super Bowl in Tampa. That was kind of the swing one, where you think for Mahomes versus Brady legacy, and then also Gronk versus Kelce legacy, If the Chiefs win that Super Bowl, I think these conversations sound a little bit different, but now you're saying 2 or 3 versus 1 or 2, and there's still time. There's absolutely still time on that
absolutely.
one. How about I see Chiefs special teams. We talked about that. Do you want to slam the Chiefs special teams unit again? Got anything for them?
Well, can I give some praise? I want to give praise to Harrison Butker.
Go ahead.
I said last week I need to see 2 straight clean games for him to feel like he's back. So that was number 1. He didn't miss any extra points, didn't miss any field goals. So if he could put together another clean game this Sunday, I would feel like, okay, I'm confident in him now. I think he's back. So congrats to him, because it's easy to rag on him when he's missing. We don't ever talk about him when he's making them. So I think he deserves little flowers today. But let me just say this. It was with no elements. It was in SoFi, no wind, nothing like that. So let's see what he does on Sunday. I'm not sure what the weather's going to be in Kansas City, but I know it's not going to be as pretty as it was in SoFi. So let's see.
That's why you moved out to town, huh? You couldn't handle the elements anymore in KC?
I mean, did you hear me complaining on Saturday about how cold it was outside?
That's because you had a silk shirt with your nipples pressing through. You need to start wearing some actual jackets and stuff, you know? Let's get to our game preview, man.
Stop it. You can't do this. You can't escape. You can't make these plays. You can't make these throws.
Come on, give us a sneak preview.
Chiefs preview.
Chiefs, Rams, Arrowhead Stadium, Week 12 in the National Football League. This one, not many people have their eye on. As often as the Chiefs are in the spotlight, this is one that will not be getting very much red zone treatment, in my opinion. It starts with an update on the Rams quarterback situation. 12 minutes ago from Adam Schefter, it's Rams head coach Sean McVay ruling out quarterback Matthew Stafford. They're saying it's a strained neck or a neck injury, but there were concerns that it could possibly be concussion related. I know this was the second time in 3 weeks that he was being evaluated for a concussion. Look, man, it's been a tough year for the reigning Super Bowl champs. Cooper Kupp is already on injured reserve with an ankle injury of his own. Matthew Stafford, we know, will miss this one. We mentioned Darrell Henderson, who is now a Jacksonville Jaguar. It's tough sledding for the Rams, whose new quarterback one is, what's his name? Bryce Perkins?
Yeah, Bryce Perkins. Yeah.
What you think, Mark?
Well, I don't have any Bryce Perkins analysis, so you're not going to get that from me today, unfortunately. But bigger picture on the Rams here, very unfortunate, because I would say, just shut down Stafford and, just tank the season. Well, they don't have a first round pick. That first round pick is going to the Detroit Lions.
They said F them picks. Remember that? Remember that?
So they can't even tank, which is unfortunate for them at this point. So, but I still think they probably will shut down Stafford because he's older. You don't want to play with the neck and things like that. Obviously, with Cooper Kupp out, he's on an IR. So this is a lost season regardless. So no need to bring those guys back if you're the Rams. Big picture wise, just sucks you don't have a first round pick. But, to this game, I mean, before the year, this is supposed to be a marquee game. This is one that you circled on the calendar.
Absolutely.
This is one that Aaron Ladd was excited to be at in Arrowhead on Sunday afternoon. America's Game of the Week on Fox, baby, 325. But nah, it's not. It's Bryce Perkins versus Patrick Mahomes. No Cooper Kupp. I mean, you know me, Ladd. I like to say Chiefs by 2 touchdowns. And
there it
all
is.
that stuff. Well, can you blame me this week if I go there?
Appreciate that, sir.
I know we're not to the betting part yet, so I don't want to spoil it yet. But I mean, I don't see how the Rams are going to be able to have sustained drives and score points in this game. I just really don't. When you're not having Stafford, you're not having Cooper Kupp. I just don't understand. I don't see how it's going to happen. I really don't. And this Chiefs defense, they gave up 27 last week, but only 7 in the second half. They buckled down in the second half, made some adjustments, and we know how Spags is against these young, unexperienced quarterbacks like a Bryce Perkins, like Malik Willis. He's going to bring it every possession. I mean, he's going to just go crazy with the blitz packages. I can see it right now, especially we don't have a Cooper Kupp, a safety valve at a receiver. So I just don't see how the Rams are going to be able to do much at all offensively in this game.
It was an offense that was limited when Cooper Kupp was out there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, really, this was a team that was leaving a locker open for Odell on purpose because they needed more offensive playmakers. They needed guys who were going to spread the field. And it's not a game that I think will be very competitive for very long. But Andy Reid talked on his typical Wednesday availability earlier today and said a few things. He said, I still see 99. I still see 5. And this is traditional Andy Reid fashion. He's not going to overlook any opponent. And I think that that's what Kansas City needs to do. Get some things right? Like at the end of that LA game or kind of in the second half, I tweeted this out too. There was so much attrition. No Juan Thornhill out there. You got defensive guys going out left and right. That tests your depth. Maybe this is a depth test game. Ooh, say that 3 times fast. Maybe this is a depth test game for Kansas City. Brian Cook gets a few more reps out there. Maybe Trent McDuffie gets a few more reps, who's been getting a lot of targets sent his way over the last 2 weeks. Maybe that's another topic for a different pod. But, there's, in the words of Eric Bieniemy, keep chopping wood. This is a perfect opportunity for Kansas City to keep chopping wood. You're on a 4-game winning streak right now. This is a team that's blood in the water. Handle your business and move on to the next week.
Yeah, if you're a player on the team, you're part of the coaching staff, you're in that building at One Arrowhead Drive, I don't want you to overlook the Rams. But me, as a spectator, as
you
a
ain't
guy
even seeing them.
As a fan.
Oh, clip that. Sir, to clip it.
Night. Night. I mean, come on. Give me a break. And I understand Andy Reid has to say that. I get it. But you know what? 99 and number 5, they're going to be on the field a lot. I see a lot of 3 and outs, a lot of quick drives from their offense, and they're going to be burnt out by the second half because they're going to be in the field so much. They're not going to be able to sustain drives and keep Mahomes off the field. So, yeah, I get it. Coach speak. I respect it. Keep your guys locked in. You're still battling for the 1 seed. They could say they don't want it or whatever. You want it. Ultimately, you want it because
need it. Extra bye week. It's only one of them.
Yeah, you only got to win 2 games to get to the Super Bowl, and you got them both at home. So you're going to take that every year you can get it. So you got teams on your heels like the Bills still right behind you who own the tiebreaker over you. So that's crucial. Got Miami right there. You got teams still right on your bumper. So you don't want to let up against a team that you should obviously win pretty handily.
Let's go to Vegas real quick, man.
Place your bets.
Oh, there it is. 2 touchdowns. Win by at least 3.
Let's go to Vegas with Mark.
Mark was a little spicy in our pre-production group chat. I got his season total wrong, and he chirped back, quit.
I mean, you're trying to mess up my record, bro. I mean, come on. That's not good business. Like, give me my extra win. Give me my win.
Oh, gosh. Mark went 2-0 last week. He only gave us 2 plays, and they both hit. He had Kelsey going over 82.5 receiving yards. Travis Kelce had 115 receiving yards. No tight end in NFL history has more 100-yard receiving games than Travis Kelce. He broke that record in the win over the Chargers. And then Mark picked the Chargers to cover. It was 5.5, and 30-27 was the final. So that's a 2-0 week for Mark. He's perfect in week 11 and 15-12 on the year going into week 12. How you feeling, man? I mean, you got to be, confident, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good. I mean, to be 15-12 at this point in the season, I think you would take that.
Absolutely.
Considering I had a couple of bad weeks here and there. So, just to be over 500, pretty comfortably, and I can extend it this week, I feel pretty good. And, unfortunately, there's no player props available right now. So like you said last week, maybe we may have to add on another play like before the game. We might have to do that like behind the channels here in our group
yeah, we'll go behind the scenes. Yeah.
Message. So I do have 2 plays though still based on just the totals of the game. I have the under on the total points. It's at 43 right now. Obviously, they're considering the Rams probably won't score that much in this game. So I like that number for the under because we know Andy Reid and the Chiefs, if they get up real big, I can see them kind of letting their foot off the gas in the second half, running the ball. Mahomes may sit in the fourth quarter. So I think the Chiefs will score probably in the low 30s, but I don't see the Rams scoring more than 10 points in this game. So when I consider that, I think the under on 43 is really, really a good play here. And then my other play is, I know it's a big number, but I'm taking it anyway. I'm not scared of the spread. Chiefs minus 13.5, 2-touchdown win. I mean, like I just said, it's the same thing. The Rams aren't going to be able to score in this game. I don't see how they're going to be able to keep it even competitive at all. So 13.5 to me still feels kind of low.
I thought I saw 14.5 at some point this week. 13.5.
You saw it at 14.5?
I did, yeah.
Okay, I locked it in at 13.5 though. It may have moved since then, but I mean, even at 14.5, I'll still take it. So I think the Chiefs win this game by 17 or more points. So, I know it's a big number. People may be a little scared about it, but please don't overthink it. The Rams starting a first-time quarterback. They don't have Cooper Kupp in this game. It's in Arrowhead. The Chiefs are going to roll. So those are my two plays. The under on the total points at 43 and the Chiefs covering at 13.5.
Mark's been red hot, man. I might have to tell you on one of these. Once I get back to the Kansas side, of course. I'm at home. I'm in a great state of GA right now.
It's not legal in Georgia?
No sports betting here. We ain't got that yet. But once I get back to the Sunflower State, I'm locking in that. I like these plays, man.
Okay. I like when you like my plays. It makes me feel a lot better.
Are you a Henry Winkler fan? Did you see Henry Winkler at the game?
Yeah, I did actually. I did.
That was a cool little collab.
He was excited, man.
He was very. You could see the joy in his face when he met Mahomes.
It was genuine.
That was cool.
It was super genuine. Genuine.
I think it's fun to see, other people, because we're in the space, we're in the bubble. I don't look at me, Louis, a little bit here, but I mean, I see Patrick Mahomes once a week usually, but most people don't. And it was cool to see. It was cool to see that collab in LA.
No, absolutely. Tell me, how was it on the field? And it was your first time in SoFi. What do you think about the stadium? Is it the best one you've been to so far? What was the vibe like?
Here's what I'll say, and I was talking with a couple people on the flight back about this. SoFi is amazing, right? State of the art. It's got everything you could ever need, everything you could ever hope for out of a facility. I see why they're having multiple Super Bowls there and every big event for the next 50 years. I get it, right? But it's no soul, man. It's no soul in those walls just yet. It seems like a little bit of an airport hangar. Arrowhead, while it's not SoFi, it's got character, it's got soul, it's got a heart. SoFi just needs a little soul.
It's still early, so I'm sure you probably feel the same way. Have you been to Allegiant in Vegas?
Have not been to Allegiant. That's next on my list. But the problem is the Chiefs always play at home. They never play a road playoff game. So it's I never get to see these other places.
That is true. And it's probably going to be that way again this year.
It's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. On the way out, what's your favorite Thanksgiving side dish?
Definitely mac and cheese. Definitely mac and cheese.
Yeah, easy.
But okay, that's a cop-out answer. Let me give you another one. I'm going to say I'm a big dressing guy. I like dressing. Yeah.
I like how you say dressing because here is stuffing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay, but it's the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's that southern twang right there. Okay. What about you? What's your favorite?
Mac and cheese, easy. Yeah, definitely. Right now the house is already smelling up because we're doing the pre, a little warmer. You do the stuff that doesn't take as long today, and then tomorrow you put it. Yeah. So I'm already. Already smelling. I know you don't.
In the night, we have to change the time for you. You talking about how I'm high maintenance? You're high maintenance. Can we switch the time? Because I have to go to the Atlanta Hawks game tonight. Dang. Okay, Ladd, we switched the whole show up for you. But I'm Hollywood. I'm the high maintenance one. That's crazy.
Appreciate y'all being flexible here on Chiefs Coast to Coast. Thank y'all for listening at home. Arrowhead Pride podcast platform. Mark Gunnels out in LA. Aaron Ladd here in Atlanta right now. We will recap Chiefs Rams from week 12 next time we talk to y'all. Until then, be easy.